I swear, it wasn't even that serious. Like, yeah, maybe I should have been more locked in, but people act like I purposely set us up to get hit. Newsflash, I wasn't the only one not paying attention that day. Anyway, I'm Dana. I'm 27. This happened back when we were out in eastern Afghanistan, middle of a miserable dry season, and I was halfway through my second deployment. So no, I wasn't some dumb newbie playing G. I knew my job. I just had other things going on. So let me backtrack. We'd been running this patrol loop for 3 weeks. Same terrain, same route, same dumb checkpoints. It got to a point where the rhythm made it hard not to zone out. You just go autopilot unless something explodes. It was mind-numbing. Around week 2, I started talking to this guy from Delta Platoon. I won't say his name, not because I'm protecting him, but because he wasn't even that good. He was hot in a bored military kind of way, but he had that smug confidence that made me want to ruin him. Which, yeah, is kinda my type. It started with harmless messages, just checking in, swapping jokes. Then one night I sent a photo that wasn't exactly regulation friendly. He responded immediately. Things escalated fast. I mean, it's not like we had much else to entertain ourselves with. A little distraction, you know. So, that morning, I had just slipped my phone into my vest, still half smiling at what he sent back. We were about 30 minutes into a foot patrol, dust thick in the air, calm scratchy as usual. Our squad was stretched too thin that day. LT had rotated people around, and I ended up walking point with Webb and Stokes behind me. I heard someone call out a signal, but it sounded muffled, maybe static. I glanced back, but they didn't look alarmed. Webb was messing with his sling. Stokes was yawning. No one looked like we were seconds from a hit. Then I felt that crack in the air before all hell breaks loose. The snap of rounds cutting through brush. We hit the deck, screaming. Return fire was sloppy, staggered. It wasn't coordinated. We were caught mid-step. We got flanked hard. Webb took a round in the shoulder. Stokes' vest got shredded. He lived, but barely. I got cover behind a rock and lit up the right ridge until backup rolled in. By the time QRF showed, we had 2 medevacs in the air and I couldn't feel my hands from squeezing the trigger so tight. They said I froze, that I missed the signal, that I didn't report movement when I should have, that if I'd just been alert. We might have been ready, but no one talks about the busted radio I flagged the day before that still hadn't been swapped out, or the fact that we were understaffed, or that our patrol rotations hadn't changed in a month. But sure, blame the girl with the phone. Command pulled my comm logs. They didn't say it directly, but I knew. The questions got weird. Were you using personal devices during patrol? Were you distracted? Is there any reason your situational awareness was compromised? I said no. Of course I did. I'm not stupid. They pulled footage from Webb's GoPro. He wore one on patrol to collect terrain mapping. You could see me glance at my chest rig. You could see me pause. In that clip, it got passed around, quietly. I know it did. I saw people watching something on their phones and side-eyeing me after. The worst part, that guy I was talking to, total ghost, unadded me the next day, like he didn't know me, which, honestly, typical. I got pulled from field duty and put on supply checks and ammo logs. I acted chill about it, told people I wanted a break anyway. But the shame was real, not that I did anything wrong, but that they thought I did. That was worse. Webb took months to recover. He never really looked at me the same after. I visited him twice in the base clinic, and he barely said 3 words. I brought him a Powerade once, and he just said, "You shouldn't be here." Cool. Stokes ended up going stateside. Shrapnel damage. Medical separation. His wife posted this long Facebook rant about irresponsible leadership and selfish distractions in uniform. No names. But everyone knew. I stopped checking my tagged photos after that. Funny thing is, if I were a guy, they'd have made jokes. I called it a legend move, given me a call sign like Thirst Trap. But because I have boobs, it's negligence. Whatever. I didn't get discharged. They let me finish out, quietly. No ceremony. I went home and told everyone I served honorably, which is technically true. But I still have that moment burned into my brain. When the flanking fire started, I remember blinking at my vest and thinking, was that the signal? Just a half second.
But it cost everything.
They talk about situational awareness like it's this always-on instinct. But no one tells you what happens when the static in your head's louder than the one in your ear. I still don't think I was wrong. I was just hopping. The job eats that out of you. And I was trying to keep something for myself. People want me to say I regret it, that I take full responsibility. I don't. They set us up to fail. I just happened to be the one holding the phone when the failure hit. Now I work at a boot store in Dallas. Still get VA checks. Still wake up thinking I'm on patrol. Sometimes I pick up my phone at red lights and think I'm hearing that signal again. It was never just about the sexting. It was that they needed someone to blame. And I made it easy. You'd think once I left the base, the whole thing would fade into memory. I mean, it wasn't like I got court-martialed. I finished my time. I kept my mouth shut. But no, it turns out, when your reputation gets dirty in a place like that, it follows you like dust in a ruck. Never comes off. So yeah, Dallas, retail hell. Folding jeans for weekend warriors who still pretend they almost joined. I lasted 2 months at the boot store before I snapped on a guy for asking if the tan boots would match his Jeep. Got written up for tone. Cute. I started looking for something more. Something where people didn't ask about gaps in your resume or know how to Google you. That's how I ended up contracting. Private security gigs pay decent if you know someone who knows someone. I had a buddy from AIT who vouched for me, said I still had my edge, still had that dead-eyed look they like. No one mentioned what happened in Afghanistan. I figured maybe I was finally past it. First rotation was easy. Some convoy escort work in a quieter zone. No action, no drama. The team didn't ask questions. I kept my head down, or did the job. Didn't even bring a personal phone on shift. But the second gig, that's when it hit the fan. Same region, new team, couple of ex-SEALs. One guy who wouldn't shut up about being Tier 1 adjacent, whatever that means. And one chick, Kelsey, who gave me side-eye the moment I walked in. I ignored it. Figured she was one of those types who didn't like new blood. First week, everything smooth, long days, dusty gear, nights of rotating watch. But I noticed Kelsey kept watching me, like, tracking me. Whenever I checked my kit, she'd glance. When I asked comms to repeat something, her eyes narrowed. Then one night during off-shift, I caught her scrolling on her phone. Too fast, like she was looking for something. And then she snapped a photo of me from across the room. No joke. No hiding it. So I confronted her. You got a problem? She didn't even flinch. Just said, "Are you Dina Walker from Echo Squad?" And my stomach dropped. She pulled up a Reddit post. One of those threads, the kind with screenshots and rumors and just enough truth to make it all stick. My name wasn't in the title, but it was in the comments. Someone had posted the GoPro clip. Blurry, pixelated, but recognizable. Me, mid-patrol, glancing down. Then the ambush. Did 2 guys almost die because you couldn't keep it in your pants? She asked. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because what else could I do? Wow, you really believe vet TikTok? I believe shrapnel, she snapped. After that, the whole dynamic shifted. People stopped talking when I walked in. They stopped trusting me on radio check. One guy moved his gear so it wasn't near mine. Kelsey filed a complaint to the site manager claiming I wasn't fit for field responsibility. I wasn't even allowed to see it. Just got pulled off the duty roster and stuck on perimeter watch. Alone. Again. So I quit. Didn't even wait for rotation to end. Took the first bird out. Told them family emergency. No one stopped me. No one even said goodbye. Back in the States, I tried to shake it off. Spun it like I needed a break. Posted an Instagram story with hiking boots and a trail like I was reclaiming my peace. But I couldn't ignore the messages. One from Webb, just a single line. You still finding new people to screw over? I blocked him. Then Stokes' wife posted a TikTok. One of those long, teary monologues in her car about trauma and betrayal and watching your person suffer because someone else was selfish. Her caption, "You know who you are." I wanted to scream. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. I wasn't trying to ruin anyone. I was bored. Lonely. Human. But that doesn't matter. Apparently, now I'm working front desk at a warehouse. Name tag, fluorescent lights. Same 7 questions every day. I pretend I don't notice the way the guys glance at me when they think I'm not looking. I know at least one of them saw the threads. I matched with someone on a dating app last month. Seemed nice. Veteran. 2. We chatted for a week. Then he ghosted me. When I checked his socials, I saw he'd posted a meme. Never trust a barracks queen with a kill count of drama. Again, not subtle. I don't know what people want from me. I didn't lie. I didn't scheme. I made a bad call. One bad call. And yeah, it had fallout. but so is every male screw-up I ever covered for. But the difference is, no one writes think pieces about them. I kept thinking maybe if I just stayed quiet long enough, it would die down, that something worse would trend and people would move on. But they don't. They remember. Kelsey posted a video last week. Her face blurred, voice altered, talking about the girl who got people shot because of a text. Tagged it accountability. It got 70K views. I reported it. Nothing happened. So now I sit in my car after work, scrolling with the brightness down, wondering how it still follows me, like a bad smell that won't wash out. I think about messaging that Delta guy, the one who started it, just to ask if he remembers, if he ever tells people, if he feels even a shred of guilt. But I don't, because deep down, I know the answer. He never got blamed. Just me. So yeah, maybe I am the villain in their story, but I never asked to be. They made me one. Because it was easier than admitting their system failed. I was just the glitch, the one they never fixed.